senior associate at Stevens and Bolton. I work in the employment, pensions and immigration team. So those areas naturally sit together. So we're a team, but I specialise in immigration matters, working mainly on business corporate immigration. Obstacles, maybe not so much as a woman, but more, I think, generally coming from my background, I kind of starting out, it was more about gaining access to the profession, and navigating that. So in my situation, didn't have any lawyers in the family, and people guiding you through the things to do and at what stage to do them. And of course you get kind of support later on, say at law school, but I think that in these days there are a lot more schemes kind of to get people down the right path early enough so that they're on track to reach whatever their goals into getting the training contract and getting into qualification. So I think looking back on my journey, that was definitely an area that I navigated pretty much going into quite blind. A lot of times as women we feel, or in the past maybe have felt, that for you to succeed as a woman, you almost have to take on those male traits. But I think what makes a successful female leader is one who's comfortable in the fact of being a woman and bringing something different to the table, a different perspective. As women getting to a certain level, I think it's really important to support younger colleagues who are coming up and being quite open and approachable. All of us as women, we probably have examples of somebody, another woman in the workplace at various points, who's either has guided you, supported you, mentored you, or you're having some difficulty. There are definitely more female role models because there are more female lawyers generally working in the profession. Encouraging, obviously, to see, but looking back to when I was still earlier on in the stages of my career, there wasn't always that visibility of someone who looks like me in a senior level to aspire to actually say, well, yes, this is achievable, this is attainable in terms of the progression I want to make. There were then other women who early on also helped me, mentored me, to guide me to get to where I want to be. Or the legal profession, things have definitely improved, have opened up. There are a lot more women lawyers. I think now, over 50% of practicing lawyers in the UK are women. But also in terms of wider developments about diversity and talking about that question of inclusion, there are a lot more Black, Asian, minority ethnic lawyers also. There's a lot of more work to be done, but things have definitely increased, and representation of women is better, and I'm in a firm where there is actually quite high representation in that sense for women. But again, the other dynamic of that from my personal interest is to see more women who look like me, of my background, and generally other minority backgrounds, getting to that very senior level. For the reasons I spoke of at the beginning, it took me longer to get to where I wanted to than, say, a more traditional path, knocking on doors and trying to get your foot in the door, should I say, and things not quite working out. And I think at the time it's very easy to be quite hard on yourself, and I think the thing I would tell myself is that it's okay that for it to take longer, and to be resilient, to be persistent, because actually it just takes that one opportunity to whether it's that obviously getting that training contract, say if you've taken the traditional route, but getting your training contract to then train to qualify as a lawyer, and then getting into that first qualified role where you start to build your experience, and then from there, depending on the people around you, I talked about mentors, people who cross your path, who you come across, who then help you to really, obviously it's a personal responsibility or your own personal drive, but then who then really allow you to go as far as you want to go or you hope to go. Just not to be too hard on yourself.